The purpose of this video is to make sure that you are aware of all of the built-in web parts that ship with SharePoint Foundation. We are in a team site, so we have our categories of web parts like lists and libraries. So for example, if you want to render your tasks or your announcements on the home page, you can easily add a pre-built web part that would do that for you. We have HTML form web parts and XML viewers and picture libraries, slideshows and so forth in the content roll-up section. We have documents and media and content, such as the Silverlight web part, for pointing to a ZAP file, and we have the people category as well. But these are by no means all of the web parts that ship with SharePoint Foundation 2010. Let's save off that page and navigate to the root web of the site collection, our intranet homepage. What we will do is go to the web part gallery and add additional web parts that ship with SharePoint. We can do that by going to the site settings and then web parts. And then you notice that we have a number of web parts loaded already. These are the ones that we saw when I was designing my test page. If I click new, notice that there are a whole host of other Microsoft namespaced web parts. So we have time cards, what's new, page tabs and so forth. So I'm going to add all of them so you can see how they appear in the UI. I will say that not all of them are appropriate in all scenarios. For example, some of the web parts are suitable for meeting workspaces, other for team sites and so forth. However, a lot of them do work across many different types of sites. So for example, we would choose the page viewer web part. We will use that in a few minutes' time. There's a whole host of these here, so the main aim of this video is to show you them so that you don't reinvent the wheel when you start creating new SharePoint web parts or solutions. Of particular interest is the XSLT view web part. Now you would be very well advised to investigate that when you get a few minutes. Just for now, I'm going to populate the gallery, and all of these built-in web parts will be added to the web part gallery for intranet.contoso.com, and we will be able to see how to use one or two of them. So there's my gallery, and it has many more controls in it now than it previously did. So I'll go back up to my test page, my web part page, and we will go through that operation again of switching to edit and inserting a web part. So we have the previous web part that we saw, and we also have this new category called miscellaneous, but the existing ones are still there. In miscellaneous, we have all of these other ones that we just added. Now you can control the category they go into. We did a bulk operation, so I chose to put them in miscellaneous. There's a whole host of web parts that will be useful for you. So for example, we have data view web parts, and this is a very useful web part. It's a type of web part that will save you many hours of development time if what you need to do is display data. For this example, we will use the page viewer, and this is also a very useful web part. We will add it to the page, and we will be able to point this web part to any URL that's accessible. So for example, we may point it to an internet search engine such as bing.com. So we type in its URL. We can change its title to something like Search the Web, and we can start working with the aesthetics such as its height and its width and so forth. Just for now, we will give a fixed height for the web part of 600 pixels, so the user has an appropriate area to work with when they are running a search. Immediately the page is rendered in the page viewer, but when I click save, we have a fully functional Bing page within our intranet site. We can do a search for SharePoint Developer, and the Bing features of pre-query suggestions appear, and all of the Bing post-query features are also provided because we literally are providing a view onto that page.